What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Cool Colas here, and you are now tuning into a new video on my channel. But before we get all into the topic, I would like for you to do a few things for me. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the bell icon so that you get notifications for whenever I come out with new content. And then at the end of this video, after you're done watching what I have to say, leave me a comment. That way I can go back later and look at what you had to say and possibly respond. For today's topic, I want to talk about why I believe mystery shopping is the perfect side hustle for pro-black creators trying to fund their side projects or their projects they want to become bigger. Now, one thing that I want to say when it comes to anybody who is dealing with business or creating something independently or that type of thing is there's a lot of discussions about success stories and ideas and sharing what's going on in people's daily lives and social media presences and things like that. But what doesn't really get talked about is the funding piece. How are people funding a lot of their creative endeavors? Because let's be real, a lot of pro-black creators are being really put in a bind. We have all of the normal everyday life things that all adults go through. You know, we have a lot of bills to take care of. We have possible families that we have to take care of. You know, we have to take care of ourselves and our spaces and where we live at and things like that. And we have to be able to handle like the basic adult needs that everybody pretty much is handling. But we have the extra layer of racism and trying to become independent being a factor as well too. A lot of us, again, because of the whole college thing and then the old niggas and all the other stuff, a lot of us are in these workforces and in these environments with, again, people who just straight up hate us and just do not like us, that being white supremacists. You know, you go to work, you experience microaggressions and all this other stuff, and you find yourself wanting to create your own independent thing. So that's a narrative for a lot of pro-black creators, and you know, they have to try to fund that. So they're using a lot of times their money from their 9 to 5 to be able to fund their other projects that they're working on the side. That is like a common thing that people talk about. And in some cases, that money is not enough. It might be enough to be able to take care of the bills, take care of everything else that you have to take care of for your adult life, like, you know, that type of thing. It may be barely enough or not enough. But nobody ever talks about how do you fund all these independent things which cost a lot of money as well too. Like maybe you're a creator and you want to fund your comic book, or maybe you're a creator and you want to fund a scripted project that you want to turn into maybe a film or something like that, or maybe you want to buy a production studio, or maybe you want to do something that's big but also independent and you have to use your own money. I think that's the point that I'm getting at. I think that one thing that a lot of us as pro-blacks have to kind of get into is finding side hustles and things like that that are going to help us to be able to fuel a lot of the projects and things that we want to work on and come to fruition at some point. And the reason why I said that mystery shopping is the perfect side hustle for a lot of pro-blacks is because of the nature of all the stuff that we deal with. Now let me break it down for you and try to explain what I mean by that. And you know what I'm going to do too when I break that down? I'm also going to tell you a little bit about my own story and my own life, just a little bit. That way it kind of gives you insight as to what I'm thinking. The best thing that a lot of us as pro-blacks can really do for ourselves is to try to preserve our peace and energy while we're trying to make power moves. And what that means is that we need to try to not involve ourselves with individuals, things, or situations that are going to rob that energy, peace, and other things that potentially could cause issues for us in our lives. And a lot of times that means trying to stay clear of white supremacists and individuals who really can't stand you. And that's why I said, like, for the 9 to 5s, you know, you got people who like their 9 to 5s and whatnot, but you got a lot of people who are really kind of struggling through it. And so my point is that we need things that are going to be lucrative to us, but also not put us in environments where people and things are either taking our energy or we're allowing those things to happen, or just putting ourselves in that situation where that can be a thing. The reason why I like mystery shopping is because of how independent it is. And I noticed that a lot of the jobs that I do in my own personal life deal with a lot of independent work. Even if I'm working with other people to some extent, reporting to some extent, talking to a customer or whatever that is, it's a minimal interaction. I'm not dealing with a lot of these things all the time. And I think this can help somebody who's pro-black, because there's already that natural suspicion in knowing how people are when you're dealing with them, especially when they're either like total Sambos or when, again, they're like suspected or speculated white supremacists. I think that mystery shopping gives that layer of you doing certain interactions, transactions, like actually, acting out a certain role and stuff like that. So it's not really you being yourself. You're acting out a role while you're trying to look at how you're treated, like a service and things like that. In a way, it's also a good outlet to see the way that somebody treats you when you're going and you're doing different things, different tasks, and you're trying to see how the service is. Even like as a black person, you can evaluate that and even like talk about the honest results of the way that you were treated. So it gives you almost an outlet to be able to vent, but you're also doing it like in an honest way because you have to be very objective. So let me tell you a little bit about mystery shopping if you don't know what that is. Mystery shopping is a side gig that you can earn extra income from by essentially going into different businesses, different transactions, and pretending to play a role and then reporting on the service that you're given. And this type, mystery shops can have all types that exist. So you can have apartment mystery shops, you can have car mystery shops where you go into dealerships and you get services done. You have restaurant mystery shops. You have mystery shops where you are, just giving examples, going into a bank or you're asking for a loan. You have mystery shops where you're going into a store, you're buying a product and you're evaluating the customer service interaction. So there's a lot of them. I'm just giving you some examples though. And you're basically playing a role and you're seeing the way that that person interacts with you. So in a way, it allows you to be able to gauge and analyze the way that people kind of go about business, like as far as like the employees and how that looks when you go into these different places. So I think it gives you the ability to be detail oriented and to look and to really analyze like your treatment overall. And I think that that's also good, again, for our mindsets and the way that we think when we consider the way that people like just treat black people on a daily basis, and not being able to talk about those things without it sounding like you're whining or all these other things. Anyway, I don't want to sound like I'm ranting. I just want to make sure that I'm making it clear why I feel like mystery shopping is a good avenue. Now, as far as the income goes, I've done it for quite a while and I've made quite a bit of money. If I had to gauge over maybe, because I think I did them, like it's been quite a while. I don't remember exactly. I want to say it may have been 2016 maybe is when I started doing them. Overall, I probably have made somewhere around like 5K to maybe like 10K from mystery shops. I'm kind of guessing. It's like in that range. It's not something that you can do all the time, or I wouldn't suggest you do it all the time as in like a full-time income. I'm sure you could, and you really would have to be on it, and there's a couple things that you have to get, like certifications and things like that, to try to up the chances of you getting more jobs and more gigs and stuff like that. But it's a good side income if you need a little something that you're trying to fund, especially if you priced out how much your project is, how much it would cost for all these different things and whatnot. You would know how many mystery shops you would need to take in order for you to be able to capitalize on these different opportunities. So I definitely recommend that you take a look at that. If you are pro-black, you're a creator, and you have something that you need to fund, and you don't feel like your main gig is helping you fund that thing that you're trying to do. And I also think that you should, take the necessary precautions to just keep up with a lot of the other expenses, like your mileage. You want to keep up with the meals and things like that, gas and those types of things as well too, because those are all part of your expenses, because essentially it's a business to a certain extent. It's an independent contractor type of thing. But yeah, you can go ahead and like start Googling it, and if you want, I can even maybe provide some of you all, if you can hit me up, or maybe I can even provide it in the description. I don't know, a couple mystery shopping places that you could actually try yourself. But I wanted to make sure that I at least put the idea out there that if you're a creator and you're pro-black and you're trying to create something for yourself, that mystery shopping is a good opportunity for you to earn extra side income. And it is, again, it's very, very legitimate. A lot of people, I know they probably got that question, is it legitimate? It's absolutely legitimate. I have no reason to lie to y'all. So yeah, it's absolutely legitimate. It can be lucrative if you play your cards right and you do it in a way that's strategic, because in like some cases you have like some of these mystery shopping companies where you can get bonuses on certain things, or you can maybe even request, you know, certain payments and stuff like that. Like, you know, can I get more if I have to travel a further distance? That doesn't always work in your favor, but you can do that as well too. I'm just giving you all something to kind of think about, because what I find a lot of times when it comes to that whole creative process when you're black is that nobody tells you how you're supposed to get your funding to try to fund these different projects and things like that. And I'm here to tell you that this is one way that you could try to do it. Of course, there's other thousands, hundreds of ways that you can. I'm not trying to make it seem like all these things are accessible. I'm just simply saying that I'm giving you an option of something that you could potentially try yourself, because I know that a lot of times people are stingy with information. People like basically want to send you an invoice so that you can pay to hear them tell you the stuff that I'm telling you right now, or they want to just gatekeep information. And as black people, we got to stop doing that shit. We got to stop getting squirrely and bitchy when people are asking us about what can I do to try to create more income, and we get weird and our ego starts showing and things like that. We're supposed to help each other, and we're supposed to be able to put each other onto things so that we can all succeed and we all can eat as a community at the end of the day. Anyway, y'all, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. I hope this was very helpful. If there is anything else that I can again do, make sure that y'all hit me up and stuff like that, and ask me more if you need to about the whole mystery shopping thing, because I want to be an aid myself. But anyway, I'm going to have more videos to come, and other than that, I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's night, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.